This is the Concept 1B, a Tier 10 American Collector heavy tank. And in Update 10.3, this vehicle got some good changes and some slightly bad ones. Overall, though, it basically got a buff. I found it very confusing that there were a lot of people trying to call this a nerf, when it's not. Let's talk about the changes that happened. First of all, the vehicle lost shell velocity. Okay, I mean, sure, that's a little bit of a nerf, but it's not really the end of the world. It still has 1,000 meters a second, which is plenty, especially for a heavy tank. Sure, I am going to miss the 1,380 meters a second shell velocity it had, but at the same time, it didn't really need it. It's a frontline heavy that can sit hull down, it still has fantastic accuracy, so I could deal with that change. The vehicle got a flat buff when it comes to reverse speed, because it lost 2 kilometers per hour, right? It went from 18 kilometers in reverse to 16. You might be asking, well, how is that a buff? Well, that's because in return, Wargaming gave it the Yo emergency track mechanic, meaning that when this vehicle is tracked, it can reverse at 7 kilometers per hour. I know that it says 4 in the actual listing, but that's just because Wargaming put zero effort into fixing things that they just don't care about. The tank reverses at 7 when it is tracked. That is insane. It means if autoloaders or you ever get tracked and you don't have repair kits, you can keep on reversing. It is by far one of the best mechanics that you can get in Tier 10. You don't realize how good it is until you actually need it, and then you're like, wow, that was super lucky. The other thing that got buffed was the DPM, going up by about 50. That's not an insane amount, but it is still a buff to the DPM. So the vehicle now sits at 2,800 with calibrated, and finally breaks the 3,000 damage per minute barrier running Gun Rammer. Personally, I would not suggest to run Gun Rammer. The vehicle has very poor heat pen at only 341 millimeters. So if you're running Rammer, you're basically not going to have pen to cut through the E100 turret ever, the Jagdpanzer superstructure ever. I personally still feel and strongly advocate for people to load Kelly if you want to drive heavies. Now the Concept still features the same hull down capabilities, it still has the same top speed of 45, same power to weight. So everything else about the vehicle, apart from the reverse speed getting slightly worse at the expense of that track mechanic, and it losing a bit of shell velocity, stayed the same. So I'm not, again, sure why people were so mad about this vehicle getting quote-unquote nerfed when it didn't. It actually got buffed. Here we are in our first battle. Let me make my camera just a little bit smaller in case I'm in the way. There you go. Alright, so we are on Desert Sands, which is obviously, well, not the best map for a vehicle like the Concept, because Desert Sands is a map where you want to use strong town fighting heavies, and we are in a tank that isn't necessarily strong for town fights. Now you might say, well, go over to medium side. I could, but they only have 1 medium, so I feel like that's kind of counterproductive. What we're gonna do is very quickly get to the hull down spot off to the side. We can see it right here. Now, this position, it's not anything insane, but it should be good enough that if anybody tries to poke early and aggressive, we can pen them up against a Suive A60 TP, a T57 Heavy, WZ-114, and a Contra 1 Mark II. So they do have some pretty solid frontline beasts. We are just going to play a little passive. Our T54 is going to move on up, and just like that, the 60 TP does get spotted. Okay, well, if my team's going to play aggressive, then there's no point to sit in that position, because I'm not going to get any shots off. So we're going to pull up here. There's the enemy Contra, and already a good example of the fact that, yeah, I mean, this tank doesn't feature great hull armor. There you go, an even better example. The 114 also randomly rolls around the corner and shoots us. So we are down about 1,000 health, and in that time we've done 380 damage. It's a fantastic example of the... I mean, the tank's armor is good, but you need to be driving it hull down to actually have the armor work. That is where, on a map like Desert Sands, especially when your team's playing this aggressive, I pointed this out when I went over this map earlier and when it first got released, and I basically said, I don't understand the point of that hull down position when nobody's going to be able to use it. I mean, sure, it's a cool theory, but I just don't see how that hull down spot's ever going to do anything when you're never going to be able to actually use it. Okay, 114 bounces me, which is nice for us. We're going to aim in a shell in his lower plate. Nice 475 max roll. And obviously, because we have not only less alpha... Oh boy, well there's a waffle, and I'm not going to be able to back up out of his way, so I guess we're going to get shot by him anyway. 114 is going to push us, and he bounces the shell, which is pretty lucky. I'm not really sure why he's pushing us either, to be completely real. You'll notice the reverse speed is still plenty, by the way. Easily being able to get a nice shell into that player. Okay, well, I'm not sure if we're winning this, but we're sure not losing it. We got the waffle off to the side. He gets absolutely crapped on. We're going to get a nice shell on ourselves, and we get shot back. Of course we do. I was really expecting that waffle to shoot the 183, you know, judging that he took 1,000 off of him, but maybe not. Well, the 57 Heavy is going to stare at me for now, but that's fine. I'll wait. We got plenty of time. The Conchicaro is a one-shot, which is obviously good for us. And again, I can just wait because we don't really need to do much. 57 Heavy's not looking at us right now, which means we can get a big ol' slap right into his vehicle for 400. Okay, not too bad. Unfortunately, we do have the Skoda off to our side, which is not what we want. And wow, that shell is also not what we want. Okay then, well... not a good situation we're stuck in here. This is a great example, though, of why the concept is, like, really good, but at the same time definitely has its fair share of weaknesses. Like, it's such a good haul-down fighter. But when you can't get it into a haul-down position, it doesn't really matter. And that's what we're kind of experiencing in this game here. We're trying to use the tank haul-down in any situation we can, but... doesn't really matter if we can't actually get it into a haul down spot. So the Skoda is probably going to kill us. I'm angling, I'm wiggling. Oh, the scent actually finishes him off. That is insane. Okay, well, we're not dead yet, and the 57 Heavy isn't looking at me right now. So I'm hoping that we can use the mobility this vehicle has and go wide and hopefully, like, get out somewhat. I'm not exactly sure if this is going to work, but we are somewhat haul down, which is obviously better than not being haul down at all. We're in a spot far enough back as well that, I don't know, we're going to find out. But, yeah, we're just going to wait back here. I'd love to know how I'm spotted. We got the 60. There he is. Okay. Well, the 60's detected. We got the 57 Heavy, and apparently that shell just disappears. Okay, well, let's see. Let's try and side scrape, maybe. The scent's getting some decent damage into that player, and we're going to back on up. Keep backing on up, and there you go. Nice shot into the 57 Heavy. Now we're going to use the mobility this vehicle has. We're going to roll all the way over here. And come on, let me finish you off. Yes, there you go. That is exactly what we need. Okay, so at this point we can obviously see that the 60 TP is coming towards us. We're going to keep on backing up. We're just going to go this way. And the 60 TP is going to look at the Centurion. When he does that, we're going to roll behind him here. He shoots, which allows us to get one shell into his tank. We're going to put on our adrenaline. We're going to get a second shell into his vehicle in just one moment. There you go. Second shell into the 60 for a nice 475. And he is going to reload. But just like that, we not only light him on fire, but we are going to out-reload him because, again, we're in a concept and we've got pretty solid DPM. Bye-bye! Wow, what an absolutely crazy carry. From a battle that was going terrible for us, we were still able to turn it around into what was actually a crazy good victory. And it's a fantastic example of why the concept is so good. Sure, it's not a city fighter, but you can still work it pretty well. It's got DPM, it's got mobility, it's got, I mean, even decent side-scraping armor due to the fact that these sides are completely angled. So we made 314,000 credits, did 6,637 damage, and arrived with a victory for our first game. I think that'll shut up all the people complaining about this vehicle getting nerfed. But let's load into another game. Hopefully we can actually get into a hull-down map. Now again, if you're wondering why I did not drive the concept to that little spot I was in the beginning of the game and stay there the whole battle, it's because if you do that, you're not doing any damage. Your teammates that are in the front line are going to get killed, and they're going to block the shots that you're trying to get out. I really don't understand the spot and why it exists there, because it just doesn't do anything. You're too far back to be effective. It's really irritating, and I wished that Wargaming would make that spot a bit more effective, but it really isn't. So we had to drive a bit more aggressive, and because of that we got stuck in a really unfortunate situation, but hey, we won, so I can't really complain that much. Our second battle, up against us, we have an IS-4 and an IS-7. The E-75's in our way, but that's all good. Wait for him to cross. Alright, so we are going to drive towards Mid-Hill. this is where, again, we can use the good mobility and acceleration of the concept, and hopefully not only beat our opponents to that spot, but get some good penetrations into them. I just love the concept. It's just such a good vehicle. It's got everything going for it. Like, it's got the haul down capabilities that you'd want. It's got the gun, it's got the accuracy, it's got the DPM. It even has okay pen. I mean, sure, it's not ridiculous amounts of pen, but it's enough to cut through the majority of things you're going to aim at. So I might be a little worried about a medium rolling off to our side. Nothing's actually here as of right now. Well, we spotted an IS-7 off to our side. The only medium they have is a T-54, so I'm not really worried about, being flanked by a T-54 or anything like that. Oh boy, that's gonna hurt though. Yep, of course. Out of all the tanks that could have rolled around the corner, it's an Object 268. Alright, let's aim at a shell in the Waffenträger. There you go, nice shot. Let's reload again. Maybe we can get another shell into his vehicle, and let's aim at an HE. Nice! He's not running Spall, so we're able to get a nice 500 damage shot into his tank. Okay, well, the 268 is off to the side, and we're not able to get a shell into his tank just yet. But that's fine, because we're going to roll right behind him, and we're going to give him a little bit of revenge for shooting us earlier. Nice HE for 530 damage into the rear of his tank. And we're just going to try and ram him really quickly, so he can't really do much. And unfortunately, it low rolls for quite a bit. So I'm going to try and get a bounce from the 268 here. I'm going to shove my gun into his, and there you go. Beautiful. A fantastic example, again, of the Concept's armor actually being pretty good even on flat ground. It's not the strongest, but if you properly know how to work it, it'll actually be pretty good. The Waffle, for some reason, thinks he's going to get the jump on me. Clearly, he didn't. So we're going to reload. And it looked like that Yo was waiting for me. So I'm going to be a little cautious. Do have the IS-4 off to the side. The Yo is also off to the side. Oh, unfortunately, hit the dead Waffle. Alright, well, 54's over there. I don't know where the 183 is, but... well, we're going to find out. Most likely he's going to be right behind me. For now, we're going to get behind the M5 Yo. We're going to put on our adrenaline, and in 3 more seconds, we'll have our shell ready. A 3, a 2, a 1, a bonk. There you go. Nice. Okay, we got the IS-4 over here. I still don't see the 183, but that's all good. We're going to go for the IS-4's track wheel if we can. Beautiful. Okay. Well, as we can see again, the Concept DPM and just about everything the vehicle has going for it is fantastic. We're getting some nice rolls into the IS-4. We're up to 4,000 damage already. This guy's getting shot in the front, so we're going to roll up behind him while he's looking over there. And our shell's going to hit the Yo, because that's my luck. Oh well. We're going to reload again. VK90 is going to get a shell into the IS-4, and we're going to finish him off. There you go. Not too bad. We got another IS-7 in front of us now. Apparently, we detonated the Amarak of the IS-4. Wow, that really, that really helped me so much. Alright, well, the 57 Heavy's aiming at the IS-7 right now, but he's not going to pen him because he's not the best player, let's be real. But hey, we're up to 5k already. I mean, I've done a pretty solid job this game. We are going to end up saving our T-57 Heavy. And now, because once again we have mobility, we can make our way over towards the 183, who just got slapped by the YAG, and maybe the T-54. I mean, we've already done plenty of damage, so I don't really mind not doing any more this game. I just want to clean up these kills. Let's see, will the 183 poke? Looks like that is a no. Well, there's the T-54. That player actually has a decent chunk of health left. Let's aim it on that tank. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Right through the little hole. Alright, well, let's get another shot into the T-54. The 183 is going to aim in on us. I could really care less if he hits me or not. Looks like he's actually not even going to aim at me. VK90 is probably going to finish him off. Oh, he didn't. Alright, well, that means we might just get a little bit of extra damage. Aiming, and there you go. I made sure to shoot a heat shell because the 183 turret's actually quite troll. I also just realized we got 7 kills. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We just got a Rizei. So, yeah. 7 kills, 6,000 damage. And, again, I don't really think I need to say much else. Let's see how many credits we made. 317,000. So, just like that, we aced the tank 2 games in a row, did 6,000 damage, 2 games in a row, and we even got 7 kills. Anybody that believed the Concept was getting nerfed, it's not. I don't understand where that thought process came from, and I don't know how people came to that conclusion. And if you still believe it after this video, you're honestly just choosing to be mad about something that doesn't even exist. But the tank is great. It's fantastic. It is still one of the best heavies. The fact that it got more DPM, its accuracy didn't change, the mobility is basically the same apart from a slight tweak to its reverse speed, plus the fact that it has that reserve track mechanic. I mean, did you notice my reverse speed at all this game being a problem? No, because it's still really good. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.